Moving on, let's open up this 08 Save Preset Starter. So double click on it, and then choose this little hamburger button and choose Close Other Timeline Panels, so that the only one you're working on is this one. It's just a video of New York City, and it pans down like so. Okay, so we're gonna apply an effect to it, directly onto it. So select that layer and let's go to the Effects and Presets panel, and let's look up radial, and we want is radial blur. So there it is, radial blur. I'm just gonna this time drag it right onto my effect, my footage there, and you can see that it has this radial blur to it, and I want the amount to be a little bit bigger. Okay, so it's gonna start out that way. So I'm gonna turn on the stopwatch with some amount of radial blur, and then I'm gonna move my playhead somewhere so that it's actually seeing like some buses going by, and then I'm gonna change that amount to 0. Okay, so the effect looks like this. RAM preview, and bingo. All right. So if you type and select that layer and type a U, it shows you where keyframes are. So a few seconds after that, somewhere over here, I'm going to end my composition. I don't need it to be this long. So I'm just going to take it and move it there, type a letter N, and then right click and trim comp to work area. So there it is. Okay, so this is like a dream sequence. So everything's in dreamy Wizard of Oz kind of in. It goes into color mode. So in the Wizard of Oz, the dream, we're gonna do the opposite of Wizard of Oz. So this is like gonna be in black and white, and then it's gonna go to color once it becomes out of radial blur. So we need to put another effect on. This one's called tint. So look up tint like that and apply the tint like so. And by default, it sets it to kind of a black and white. Okay, so the amount of tint is 100%, so it's completely like basically black and white. So what we're gonna do is keyframe this. So let's put our playhead at home. So press the home key and turn on the amount to tint. Boom, and then type a K. Another way, instead of jumping with the letter K, you could actually push this button right here. It'll jump to the next keyframe. So that's just the on-screen version of the letter K. And then we're gonna make this amount 0, so that it's fully colored again. So now our effect looks like this, black and white, and then changes to color once it radial blue. Okay, cool. You're like, so what? Well, what's cool about this is that you might like this effect. You might want to use it on a different composition. So here's how you do that. You select the effects in the effect control panel that you like, that you want to copy. You select those and make sure they're selected, and then you go to animation, save animation preset. So you're going to save it. It's going to give you a little window where you want to put it. Now it's in user presets, which makes sense. So if you click here, you see that you're in the Adobe After Effects user presets, which is fine because that's where it should be, because that's you. So I'm going to give this a name that makes more sense. So radial blur with tint. Okay, radial blur with tint. After Effects effect. So if that's what this FFX is, and just hit save. Cool. So now if you go back to your project panel, Command 0, and open up Apply Preset Starter. So this one here, just double click on it, select that layer, and then you'll see here in the in the Effects and Presets panel, you'll see hopefully your user presets. So if you close out of that and you twirl down animation presets, you'll see user presets, and there's yours. So with your playhead at home, just drag it on, and there it is. It's now applied to that. Okay, you can type a U, and you can see that it applied the radial blur and tint and on the keyframes too. And I'll do the same thing with this one. A few seconds after that, I'm going to type an N, right click on this gray area and trim comp to work area. So now my comp is relatively small. And then you can actually change this too. So let's take this amount and let's see. Put your playhead like here. You see this guy here? We actually want that to be in focus. So I'm going to take the center. I'm going to take the center of that and actually just drag it. Oop, undo that. Take the center. See that guy there? I'm going to drag it so that it's on that, stops that hand signal. Okay, so now check it out. Okay, so in other words, you can save a preset, apply a preset, but then you can also adjust it. So very, very handy.